Brother Kadash.
Shalom, Mr. Brother Quanah.
We'll start off by giving our praises to
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, with Kadash.
double honors to the apostles and the elders, peace, blessings, honors to all the brothers and sisters. This camp is going to be called Mankind versus Mankind, you know, nation against nation. But really, we wanted to name it Mankind versus Mankind because it's going to be man versus man on every level. That's what's coming, you know. That's one of the prophecies that's coming, you know. Kind of like the Purge movie, where everybody's for themselves and everybody's against each other, and there ain't no love out there. The scriptures speaks of this, so we're going to bring out plenty of precepts to kind of break this down, you know, just to kind of, you know, we just want to build up the spirit, you know, of what's coming, you know, because what came to head that made us think about this? We was talking about it, and it was about them coming up against us, and we were saying like it was going to be like a lot of traitors and a lot of agents in these different camps. Yeah. We was talking about that, and we was like, look, you got to understand that, especially in some of the big camps, there's agents. There's niggas that's going to trade, and even if they're not agents, they're going to become agents when that heat get turned up. You remember what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you were saying. Yeah, because you was pretty much explaining, like, because we was watching that video on Hassan Campbell.
Yeah.
But you know, we've been kind of following him for a while, and a lot of his videos, he be bucking up against us, talking about, you know, speaking on like different camps and, you know, different people who, you know, doing what we doing. You know, some would consider them religious groups, some don't. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just said different camps. But you know, in a lot of his videos, you can go back, you can do research on them, and he'll speak on like how we tripping. You know what I'm saying? We waiting on somebody to come out of the sky and save everybody when it's really up to us. But then in one of his most recent videos, he had posted, and he was kind of like backbiting, as you were saying. You know what I'm saying? Now he apologizing for everything, and so like that's kind of the spirit that we what got us to go into mankind versus mankind.
Oh yeah, and then to even break it down even more, because I remember now, it's like he always be on his page, Hassan Campbell. You go to his page, you go to his old videos, he on his page talking very rowdy about everything, right?
Exactly.
Now that the whole New York shooting had happened, subway shooting had happened, and the dude had mentioned Hassan Campbell in one of his videos before his YouTube, the shooter before his YouTube got took down, right? So then we seen a recent video with Hassan Campbell, and he was very well-mannered. He was very backbiting. He wasn't so rowdy anymore, you know, going against the government. He was like, look, I'm for the police when they're doing the right thing, and when they're not doing the right thing, I'm not for them. So is you for them or not? You see what I'm saying? He was backbiting. He was saying he's for the government. He was saying he's for the mayor.
He's for Trump.
He's for Trump, and Trump is his president. He was saying all that. I was like, man, this don't even sound like him. He's not even recognizable. Like, who is this? But that's because that heat. He felt that little bit of heat. You know, you got a dude that just did a bad shooting mentioning you on a video.
Said, because he said he was next.
Yeah. He said they was gonna kill him. He was like, Hassan Campbell was next. They're gonna kill him. So this had him very scared. Just that. The heat ain't even been turned up. It's not even purge in the street yet. It's not even mankind versus mankind, all free for all yet in the streets. Anybody can get it. It's not even that yet, and he was already scared. Just that little thing right there, which is a big thing, you know, somebody go out there and do something like that and they mention you in the video talking about you're next, you might get scared, but the difference between us, the men of the Lord, we're going to have faith regardless. We're going to put our faith when we fear the Lord, you know what I mean? More than fearing man. But he obviously feared man more than fearing the Lord because he started backbiting. Just that little bit of heat being turned up on him, he started getting very well-mannered. I'm for the government. I'm for Trump. Trump's my president and all type of shit. Like he's speaking to Esau, trying to get mercy. And that's what we want you to understand. A lot of brothers, and even Hebrew, especially the internet Hebrews, Hebrew internet warriors, especially them, man, when that heat get turned up, this is the reason why they teach in the name Jesus Christ, because they want to be loved by the world. This is the reason why they teach it all nations can be saved, because they want to be loved by the world. They want to have some mercy when that heat get turned up. So when that heat gets turned up, these are going to be the main people that's going to be turning. Yeah, those Hebrew Israelites, those the bum camps, the highways and byway Hebrews, you know what I mean, which are the true Hebrews, the true prophets, right? They gonna be turning against us, man. I put up a video a long time ago of a vision, a dream I had of them turning against us and us being, you know, most wanted and stuff like that. So they gonna be the main ones switching and turning against us and saying, look, these people are wicked, we want to bear them in that, and they evil. And then even brothers in some of the camps, when that heat get turned up on them in their personal lives, and they can't take it no more, they gonna switch just like Hassan Campbell is. They gonna get to talking about, look, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite no more. They gonna throw their fringes off. They gonna get to talking about the name Jesus Christ, and everybody can be saved because that heat gonna get turned on. You got something to say on that?
I did, but I just lost my train of thought. But it was like, yeah. So that's pretty much the moral of this camp. You know what I'm saying? Is because it's gonna be a time when nation gonna rise against nation, right? Yeah. And it's gonna be, which is coming probably sooner than later. And it's gonna be a time where it's gonna be a certain group of people that's gonna be singled out, and they're gonna be deemed the unrighteous of the world. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be we're gonna have the biggest target on our back. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then that's where what a brother talking about, where the heat gonna get turned up, and then that's right there is when your faith is tested. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when at your worst point, right, we're gonna come to the worst point as far as worldly, and our faith gonna be tested, and some people gonna fold. What was you saying about in the scriptures? We were talking about like a great falling away.
Yeah, that's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Yeah,
verse 3.
And it's gonna be a great falling away. You know,
a great falling away, and then those people that fall away and fall out the truth, those gonna be the main people that's gonna switch on us and turn on us and come up against us. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So, like your brother said, your faith gonna be tested. When that heat get turned up. So we gonna start in.
Matthew 24. We're going to start around verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
So it says nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. That means mankind versus mankind on every level. You're going to have countries going against each other. You're going to have states going against each other. You see that happening right now in the United States. Some of these states don't like each other. The mayors and governors don't get together. You're going to have poor people versus rich. You're going to have, the government versus the people. You're going to have woman versus man. You're going to have young versus old. You know what I mean? You're gonna have straight people versus non-straight people if you have ears to hear. Right. You're gonna have the wicked versus the righteous, evil versus good. You're gonna have it on every level, man. So it's just gonna be like the movie Purge. That's why they put those things in those movies out there to kind of manifest what they're planning to do, man. Because when times get hard, you ain't got nothing. Everybody gonna turn against everybody. And only the brothers, you really only gonna be able to depend on your brotherhood, Because what did the Lord say? He said, "Who is my mother? Who is my brother? Those that do the will of my Father." That's the only ones you're gonna really be able to depend on. But then even with that, you're gonna have things as agents and traders. So really, you're gonna have to get it from the Lord.
Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
Now it said, you should be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So that's that persecution, that's that insurrection on those that fear the Lord. Now it says, many should be offended. Go break that down, man.
Many shall be offended. Many shall be offended, right? Because what the brother was speaking on earlier about how people want to be loved for the word, right? And that's where the word Jesus Christ comes in. That the name, not word, but the name Jesus Christ comes in, because they in the name of so-called Jesus Christ, they speak of everybody can be saved. Salvation is for everybody. You know what I mean? And that He loves all, and that pretty much when He comes back, He's not coming to destroy this place, but He's coming to fix it and coming to heal it. Yeah. Which He is coming to fix this place, right? But He's not coming in peace to fix it.
He's coming to destroy it and then build it back up. The earth, you know what I mean? And a new kingdom. And like the brother said, people are gonna be offended. They offended just by the word, truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was having a talk with somebody too, and I was like, I could break down the actual truth to you, but it's gonna offend you, because you're looking at things in a worldly way. You can't look at the truth in a worldly way, or it's gonna offend you. There's some things in the law, statutes, and commandments that seem not normal to this world.
Exactly.
The way that things are supposed to be handled, you might say that that's wicked. You know what I mean? That's why they're gonna call us wicked.
Yeah.
And
it goes right back to today. Like probably majority of the people that's gonna watch this probably got majority of their family in church right now celebrating Easter, right? And if you tell them that this is not the day, right? Because what does Easter represent? It represents his resurrection, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
supposed
what they
to
say.
it's supposed to represent
but
his
then they got a
resurrection.
bunny that lay eggs and shit.
Yeah, so what the bunny got to do with him being resurrected?
And what bunny be laying eggs and shit?
Right.
And what is the eggs for?
Exactly. And so if you tell people like, man, that's not what Easter is, it's wicked, you know, then they're gonna look at you like you wicked. They're gonna, oh yeah, you tripping. We going to church, we praising the Lord. But you know, and then that's what it means like when they say you're gonna be offended. So that right there offend a lot of people. Right, because they looking at them going to church and praising Jesus Christ that they doing something good. And then you trying to explain to them like, man, you really going off, and then it'll offend them.
Yeah, and then they talk about Good Friday, and then they say Sunday is Easter when the Lord raised, but it said the Lord raised on the third day. So simple math tell you Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday, so it would be Monday. It wouldn't be Sunday. Right. So that's how you know all this shit is just bullshitting off, man. But with us saying that, it offends them. You know, and then everybody gonna be offended when all hell break loose and there's a famine. You know, so motherfuckers gonna be stealing and killing to just survive. It's gonna be like the purge of the street, man. Keep
on. Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Right there. Yeah, so he that shall endure through all this, mankind versus mankind, purge on the street, iniquity waxing cold. I mean, iniquity bound, and the love of many waxing cold. Many people offended, you being hated by all nations for the Lord's name's sake. That's gonna bring in the famine of the word, because we ain't gonna be out. We gonna be hunted. We gonna be hunted in the way. So we ain't gonna be able to come out here on the highways and byways and teach anymore. That's gonna bring in the famine of the word. They're gonna take us off the internet. They could take us off the internet very easy, just like they did to I want to say it was Louis Farrakhan, and I believe they took him off YouTube. But you know, they done took people like Alex Jones off YouTube. They done took down a couple Trump platforms and stuff like that. You know, so the same way if they could censor Trump and take him off YouTube or take him off whatever platforms they took him off, best believe they could do it to us too, easily. You know, so a famine of the word is gonna come, and the reason why that famine of the word is gonna come is because mankind versus mankind, you know, on every level, and people are gonna be offended on every level too. So I gotta this is Micah 7, starting at verse 6, right? It says, "For the son dishonored the father, the daughter rises up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. Therefore I will look into the Lord, and I will wait for the Lord of my salvation. My God will hear me." So we have to wait for the Lord, man. But like it said, even in your own house, you know, woman versus man, the wife versus the father versus the son, the mother versus the daughter. So how much more even in the world? If your house is going to be split, and we've seen examples of that. We can't even talk about it because YouTube taking down videos so easily now. But you know, the whole global thing that had happened, you know, that the lockdowns and everything, we've seen examples of that. If brothers in the truth was they households was getting split up because a certain person wanted to go get something, and then a certain person didn't want them to go get something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then that was splitting up husbands and wives.
Yeah.
And
then, a lot of videos on that.
Yeah, it was a lot of it. And then you know the wives got control over the children. So if the wife go get it, then they got your children going to go get it. And that was splitting up and breaking up families, man. So what you think when the MOTB come out? You know, when that come out, that's gonna break up a lot of families, man. Because you're gonna have people that's against it, and then you're gonna have people that's with it. And what you gonna do? You gonna be sleeping in the bed right with somebody that got it? that shit's gonna drive you up the wall, man. You're gonna want to get up out of there, you know, and that's gonna split up a lot of families. So even when we say mankind versus mankind, you're gonna have families against each other. And if it's not your immediate family, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your uncles and shit, they're gonna be trying to turn you in, man, because you're gonna be bringing the heat on them. You know, you're gonna be bringing the heat on them, and Esau's gonna use them to try to get to you. Esau might snatch up an uncle and say, look, man, he might offer her money. Read the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 7 with the 7 brothers. You know, the last brother, the king had offered him a lot of money in a very prestigious status in the kingdom. You know, just to pretty much eat swine. give up on the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. You know, so he's crafty like that. So now if you got a slimy ass uncle that you know will slime you out for $1,000, what you think he gonna do when Esau come with 50,000 bitcoins for him? Digital coins, whatever they come with their new system, and say, look, 50,000, let me know where so-and-so's at. And lie on him. Falsely accuse him, just like they falsely accused the Lord. And they got people to go along with falsely accusing him. Even though they knew it wasn't true, they really didn't have nothing on them. That's how it worked. So just like they trade, like I always like to say, we got to bear the same cost that the Lord bear. Really, everything the Lord went through, we got to go through as a body. But he went through it just individual, you know. So the same way they traded on him and falsely accused him, that's what they gonna do to us. They gonna trade on us and falsely accuse us.
That's it, something.
Yep.
Yeah, and you just gotta fear the Lord more than you fear man. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it'll get tough. You know, you standing in front of somebody who could potentially have your life in their hand at that moment, right? You know what I'm saying? So you just looking at the now. You know what I'm saying? But it really comes down to what you stand for. You know what I'm saying? It'll come down to what you stand for. So you looking at it like, so he telling you like, look, tell me where he's at, or if you tell me where he's at, I'm gonna give you 50,000, right? And if you don't, I'm gonna kill you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got a tough decision to make right there.
Yeah.
Man, am I gonna stand firm for the Lord? You know what I'm saying? And die right here, and here soon.
Like the 7 brothers did.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? He had a tough decision, but he feared the Lord more. You know what I'm saying? That's why he went on ahead and let him take him out.
Yep. Just like Judas Iscariot.
Yeah.
With the 30 shekels.
Yeah.
I mean, he traded on the Lord. He had a choice. He didn't have to. And then he tried to bring them the money back and everything. It's like, that's blood money pretty much. And then he committed suicide. Yeah. You know, and you're going to have a lot of that going on. I mean, we can't stress that enough. You're going to have a lot, when that heat gets turned up, you're going to have a lot of that going on. A lot of a lot of the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. You're going to have a lot of that going on, man.
And it's crazy how that ended too, you know, not trying to go off, but you know, it just goes with what we're saying, because in that movie, how it ended, he traded on his brother, and in return, what they do, they gave him a gas station or something like that. And he killed himself like the next day.
Yep. And then you got agents that's in camps waiting to be activated. Yeah. Just like in that movie Judas and the Black Messiah, you had agents that was in that thing 10 years.
Yeah.
Just you never even knew they was an agent the whole time they an agent. Because remember, one of the dudes that was a traitor, he was an agent. He recognized another dude that was an agent that was in it. Yeah, man.
He's like, damn, you in here too?
Yeah.
And they always come for your people.
Yep.
They always come for your people. And you know, that's why that's saying, you know, it's always the ones closest to you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who they target. They always target the ones that's closest to you. You know, them the first ones that they go to. You know, so that's why you know.
You got that.
Yeah. Zechariah 14, verses 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
So the Spirit kind of leading us into that persecution and insurrection that's coming for us. But like we said, mankind versus mankind. You know, his hand should be against his neighbor. You know what I mean? That's going to happen. And what does that look like? That look like people just getting desperate, kind of like the movies of The Purge. When you get desperate, you ain't got no food, you ain't got no water, all the games, all the party, all that shit ended, and people just sitting out here for months in that shit, no jobs, no working, ain't got nothing. People are gonna be plotting on each other, man. Some of these niggas be slimy, man. They gonna be plotting on how to come take what you got.
I mean, you see it now. I mean, people doing it now, and it ain't even all hell ain't even broke loose. You know, a lot of people, they got those Ring camera doorbells, and you know, people come, just random people come knocking on people's doors. Like, what you think they want? You don't even know this person.
Yeah.
You know know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of videos on that.
Yeah, they just coming to, I mean, if you open the door, then, you know, they probably gonna bars their way in and probably even kill you.
Yeah.
So literally, no reason. So when it's in a time of desperate need, oh man, you can just imagine.
Yeah, you gotta up that by like 100, that desperation.
Yeah.
When person see you, man, they gonna be thinking about what you got. And, you know, we have to speak on it. It's gonna be hard for women. It's gonna be super hard for women. Because right now, women are on like a pedestal. You know, all these women, if she kind of pretty, she probably got thousands of guys in her inbox. She could any, mini, money, mo, choose who she want, whenever she want. But during this time, the Lord's gonna take the woman off that pedestal, man, and sit her back down. And then she's gonna need a man. Right now, she's independent, Miss Independent Neo shit. She don't need a man. But during this time and this persecution that's coming, they gonna need man to survive. They said, look, man, it's a strong tower, I believe. You know, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, but roughly paraphrasing, saying a man will be like a strong hedge for a woman, you know, in the scriptures. You know, so what's gonna happen to them if they ain't got that protection? They gonna get ravished. Man gonna take what they want, man, and do what they want to them. You know, and there ain't gonna be no stopping it. You know, you see that when you watch movies like The Walking Dead, or I believe that's Black Summer or something like that. You will see like the women have a very hard time, and some of them even be captive in captivity by a group of men. But in real life, you ain't gonna get magically saved by some dudes, some hero dudes. That's not real life. You ain't gonna get saved unless the Lord saves you. You know what I mean? So it's mankind versus mankind, like we said. Old versus young, government versus the people, rich versus poor, man versus woman. You're gonna have all that going on all at the same time. Nation versus nation, country versus country, state versus state. You know what I mean? NATO versus, you know, Russia and China and that shit. And then you're gonna have the wicked versus the righteous, and then you're gonna have the wicked versus the Lord when you come back. So you're gonna have this war on every level, man. And that's, you gotta get prepared. I did a video, I ain't uploaded yet, but it's called Prepare. You gotta start getting prepared. You gotta get your spirit prepared so you don't bug out. You know what I mean? Because before you can do anything physical, your mind gotta be here first. And you have to get your spirit and your faith together during these times so you don't bug out when you see some of these things, man. Just like
the next one, Malachi.
I already got it.
Oh, okay.
Go to
the one after that one.
Yeah, not the second address. I got the one. Like, you not, this ain't gonna be no training day shit. Remember training day when the little Mexican girl, the Issachar girl was finna get raped by those old dudes in the alley, and then the white boy hopped out and kind of saved her. That's not gonna be happening, man. If she get caught in that position, she just gonna get took, and you might see it, but you not finna go save her, cause then that's gonna risk your life, and then you understand that's the Lord's judgment. You gonna have to keep going, man. Just like in the movie The Book of Eli. That happened there. He tried to I roughly kind of remember, but it was a woman that was finna she was faking like she was in some type of distress, a damsel in distress, right? And Denzel came across her, but I don't remember if he kept going or if he stopped and then it was almost a trap and he almost lost his life.
He was telling himself to keep going. It was like stay on course. But like he didn't. He ended up trying to help the lady, and it ended up, you know, in turn he ended up almost, you know, something bad almost ended up happening to him, but he ended up getting himself out of it. But yeah, that's pretty much what the brother's saying. Like, you have to stay on your own course.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, you have your own family. You know what I'm saying? You might have your whole family with you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That you're trying to save. Yep. And y'all might stumble across, you know, somebody.
A damsel in distress.
You know. And, you know what I'm saying? You risk your family if you know.
And it could all be a setup.
Yeah.
You go try to help her, and 10 dudes hop off bushes and shit. And then now they on your ass. Now you got a great multitude on your ass. You know what I mean? This is Luke chapter 12. Verse 51, it says, suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth. This is the Lord. He said, I tell you nay, but rather division. So the Lord's not coming to give peace on the earth. He's coming to give division on the earth, man. It says, from henceforth there should be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3, just like we said in Micah 7. You know, your own household is going to be a man's enemies, you know. So how much more even just in the world? It says the father should be divided against the son against the father, the mother against the daughter against the mother-in-law against the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. And remember, it's the Lord that's doing this, right? It says that he said also to the people, when ye see a cloud rise out of the west, straight away ye say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when ye see the soft wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? And that's what we out here for, prophecy. We're prophesying of the times to come. We're discerning the times to come, just like it said in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, measure the time diligently. So we are discerning and measuring the times, going back to Matthew 24, and we're seeing like, look, man, that time's coming where it's going to be mankind versus mankind. We come out here, we set up a camp, and we put it up to warn the people that mankind is going to be versus mankind, like it just said, mother versus father, son versus father, daughter versus mother, you know, even in the household. So how much more even in the world, man? It's going to be utter chaos, just utterly chaos, you know what I mean? And like the brother said earlier, you got to stay course. You're going to have to be able to get through this and stay course, because in Matthew 24, it says those that endure to the end, the same should be saved. So there ain't no pre-rapture, pre-tribulation rapture. You're going to have to endure through all this hell, this heat putting on us being hunted, us on the run, us, you know, the Lord just giving us barely enough to stay alive. You know what I mean? Some brothers might have abundance, but, you know, people hunting you, people hating you. They putting your face on a billboard as wanted. They putting you on the news channel with all your videos, all the videos you ever did, just on the news, a whole list of them. And they say, look, these people are wanted. They're enemies of the state. You're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to endure through that. You know, you're going to have to have faith in the Lord, and that the Lord's going to actually take care of us like he said he was in Psalms 91. I'm going to pull these second Ezra. This is, so we're going to tell you how that kind of look like. We're going to break it down, you know, of how that kind of look. This is 2nd Ezra 15. I always like to start from like verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people should stand up against another and swords in their hand. What's that? Mankind versus mankind. It says, for there should be sedition among men. That's that man being offended. The love of many waxing cold. You know what I mean? Like it said, compare it to Matthew 24. It says, and evading one another. That's Zechariah 14. You know, neighbor hand should be against his neighbor. It says they should not regard their kings nor their princes in the course of their actions to stand in their power. Meaning you're going to have the government versus the people versus the government. It says a man should desire to go in a city and should not be able. Why? Because they're going to shut down some of the cities and not allow anybody to leave out or go in, you know, because they're going to be having a hard time. You're going to have militias out here taking over cities like we've seen doing the whole riots and everything. It was actually blocks of cities, like downtown areas of certain cities that was taken over by the people, by militias. They had it barricaded off and everything, and they was daring the government to come in, and they was going to go to war with them. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. This ain't going to be an easy thing. Grown men are going to be afraid, man. And men have that spirit where when it's wartime and it's kill or death, man, other than, like, it's different from women, men get into like a war-like spirit where they don't even care about losing life. So for a man to be afraid, you know, man, that lets you know some shit. Salaki, man. Let me fix this. See if you can fix it. It's on. Yeah, hold on, I got it.
Put my bag in there. Just in case I do it again.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, Salaki, or Cameron. Good look. Yeah, just need more weight on it. That's it. Let's see. Yeah. Put more weight on it. That's how it is, but you need to keep going, you know what I mean? Keep going through it, you know? That's just a test. It says, verse 19, back to it. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Speak on that.
Man said, wait, reread it again.
A man should have no pity on his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah, so it's not gonna matter, you know. You and your whole family, y'all in there, y'all good. You know, you got enough just to, you know, take care of your household, you know. And you might stumble. I mean, somebody who ain't got nothing for him and his family might be looking, you know, where their next meal gonna be at. And your house just so happen to be the target. You know, you might have a little baby girl or a little baby boy or something in there, and they come in, they take care of everything. If they got a kill for it, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yep.
That's what they do.
And then they might take your wife.
Yep.
You got a daughter, they might take her. They might desire her. They not gonna say, oh, she not 18 yet.
Right.
She might be 16. She might be 14.
Yep.
They gonna take her and do what they want to do, because ain't gonna be no more law out here.
Yeah.
You know, and they gonna take all your food. They might just kill everybody and stay in your house.
Yep.
Now they live in your house.
And that could be just because you put them up for a fight and then just let them come in and take what they wanted.
Yep.
So now since you ain't just let them come in and take what they want, you put up a fight, now they just finna just run rampant in there.
Do whatever they want, like wild beasts. Because when people have, it says for a lack of bread, right?
Yeah.
When people don't have food and water, people turn to like wild beasts, like animal-like.
Yeah.
That's when you had, remember the cannabis shit with people eating people?
Yeah.
Because it got so bad they didn't have no food.
Yep.
So they turned like animal. They start eating people, eating flesh. Yeah, and cannibalism gonna come back. Apostle Torah always talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be real because you know you got weird people out here that do that now.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got some weird shit going on in their head where they think it's better to eat a human's flesh than it is animal flesh. Just weird shit. But you know, it's people out here like that.
Yeah.
So to devour another human being and eat them ain't gonna be shit, especially in a time of hunger.
And that's the lowest form. That's like complete animal like. But you gotta think about it. If a motherfucker finna die, they finna die from starvation.
Exactly.
And they stumble across your house and you got a little baby in there, fresh, thick, little baby thighs, and they might cut that baby up and cook it and put it in the oven and eat. Cause they hungry.
You gotta speak about it, man.
You gotta speak about it, man. Didn't Matthew 24 say that many should be offended?
Yes, sir.
This is what's gonna offend you, and this is why we're out here going so hard trying to warn our people what's coming, man. Cause it's real. This ain't no, we keep saying, man, this ain't no game. This ain't gonna be easy. This is gonna be hard, man. You're gonna have tears. The Lord said, what's that, Revelation 21, that he should wipe the tears away from our eyes. That means when the elect is saved, they're gonna have tears. People are gonna be crying. People are gonna be grieving. But the difference between you and them is you gotta keep the faith. That's what's gonna get you through, is keeping the faith. That's what's gonna keep you from not bugging out when you seeing just bodies piled up. Go over there to Ukraine right now, man. Get you a little ticket, go into Ukraine and go over there and help them fight. And see what you're gonna see. You're gonna see bodies ripped up and legs ripped off, and this person slumped over, that decapitated. That'll make you throw up, man. That'll make you dizzy just walking around seeing that. You will get dizzy, man. You was looking cars and everybody in the car just ripped up by bullets. That'll make you dizzy and make you sick, man. So that's why we try to tell you this ain't gonna be no easy thing, man. This is gonna be hard. What the world's about to go through. You know, you gotta endure through it to the end. I'm gonna move on to 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, start at verse 48. Now this is talking about us. It says, "For behold, a burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered to idols." Meaning that being idle means you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. It's talking about a prison. So what is a burning wrath of a great multitude that's kindled over you? You know, we see it all the time. The feds come in, do a sweep. You get indicted. That's a great. They don't come with 1 or 2 agents. When they come 10, 20 deep. That's the wrath of a great multitude that's kindled over you at that moment. You in the house, you get woke up, they busting through the door like, what the fuck going on? That's because that's a great wrath of a great multitude that's kindled over you, and then they should take away you. What do? When they come to your house and indict you, they take you away. Yeah. You ain't got no choice. You got something, fam?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was just gonna speak on it, like, cause I actually been through that. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it feel like. So when you was reading that, and then the way you broke it down, you know what I'm saying? It hit me. I'm like, yeah. You know, like that scares people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that'll have somebody, who really ain't used to or been through some stuff like that. That'll have them ready to, okay, whatever you want. Just tell me whatever it is. Where's Kadash?
Yeah.
And then he just went, you know what I'm saying?
And then the way that they do it so slimy that they'll tell you what to say. they kind of walk you into saying what they want you to say.
Coaching you.
Oh, he's a so-and-so this and so-and-so that. And you will be like, yeah, he is. You know what I mean? They kind of coach you so they can build a case up against you. You know what I mean? And like he said, when they win your ass and they got the AR-15s on, you better not make one sudden move, man. Yeah. Or it's over.
And that goes to show you, like, all of those televised killings and stuff that they was doing. It was all a preparation of, you know, a plan that they got in place. So now you got people in fear. So like the police come booming in through your house, right? And and you know all of them got guns. Only thing you're gonna be thinking about is these motherfuckers kill, and they kill for no reason.
And then they eat the mics.
Yeah, so you like, and then that's what it, what's the scripture where it's talking about? They should be like madmen sparing none. So you already know they're gonna come in and they want what they want. And if you put up any type of fight, they shooting without question.
Yeah.
Shooting first, asking questions later.
You grab anything out your pocket, any of that shit, you done with, man.
Exactly.
You done with it, man. That's how Esau get down. And he might just come in your house just because you done hoarded up a lot of food. You didn't prepare for the end. You got a whole bunch of food in your house.
And you ain't supposed to have it. They trying to tell you.
And they finna come take you
a certain amount.
Yeah, and take you. You know what I mean? You got water saved up. And then they found out about it. So ain't nobody safe, man. Verse 69, it says, and they that consent to them should be had in derision and reproach and trodden under the foot. But if you consent to them, you give up, you know, you choose to take the MOTB. When they come upon you, you know, you weak with it, you give up the faith. I'm not a Hebrew, you deny the Lord. It says you're going to be trodden underfoot and should be had in derision. It says, for there should be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So we the ones that fear the Lord because we teaching the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord's chosen people, which are the Hebrew Israelites, which are the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Latinos, right? So this is going to be a great insurrection on us. Who's the ones that fear the Lord for real? Us. So this is a warning, man. That's why we say this ain't no game. There's going to be a great insurrection on us. We're going to have targets on our back. And you see that they're trying to start doing. That's what the whole New York shooting and everything, even though they did it kind of sloppy, they probably going to have to come back with something else because that was kind of sloppy. Everybody knew that was some bullshit, you know what I mean? So they building a case against us. So they got to do a couple of things and they can go back and say, look, this happened. They did this, they did that. We finally tired of this. We got to get them off the highways and byways. We're tired of it. You know what I mean? So a great insurrection on those that fear the Lord. Just remember that. And what does great insurrection mean? A great persecution. Like they coming down on us. They gonna come a great. It says, the wrath of a great multitude gonna be upon us. Just brothers that's in the truth. Just like that vision I had. They was in the streets on every block looking for us. That's what's gonna be happening. They gonna be looking. Their whole focus and their whole goal is gonna be to find the Hebrew Israelites.
One by one.
Yep. Track them down. Kill them, and then when they track you down, they not really trying to take you in for trial. They trying to find a way just to kill you, a reason just to kill you.
And they're gonna broadcast it.
Yep.
They're gonna broadcast it. You know they gonna you know how Esau is. You know they do stuff like that. They like because they want to keep everybody in fear. You know they want to fake like they the heroes of the world, but really they the demons of the world.
Yep.
And so you know they catch one, they gonna. You know, broadcast. If it end up happening like that, they're gonna broadcast them, probably execute you, or you know,
and that's gonna put fear in the rest of the niggas.
Yep.
Niggas going, damn, you see what they just did to so and so.
Yep.
But whoever perished being innocent. If so and so get caught like that, then either he was a martyr or he wasn't a man of the Lord. Either way, we gonna find out. You know, but yeah, that's gonna scare. So then the rest of them that's high, they gonna be coming out just turning themselves in because they don't want to have that great multitude upon them. So they gonna be turning themselves in, and they gonna be turning other brothers in. They gonna like we said when that heat get turned up.
Yeah.
So they gonna be trading. They gonna be like, nah, man, nah, man, this ain't it.
Yeah, I ain't trying to get executed like that.
Nah, and they gonna go down to the precinct or the county building or wherever. And they gonna go down to Esau and turn themselves in and say, look, I want to make a deal. I know where 4-5 Mo at. It's gonna be like that, man. I'm gonna keep going. It says, here it is right here. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So when they come, like we said, they not gonna try to take you in and go to court, man. They're gonna be like madmen, and they ain't gonna spare nothing. And it ain't just against us. It ain't just against the elect or the hopeful prophets. It's gonna be against all our people because we got a thing called Jacob's trouble.
Right.
So they gonna be coming up against niggas and Latinos and Native Americans and just killing us.
Yep.
For anything, you in a gang, they coming to kill. They ain't coming to take you in and go a whole trial, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and they're gonna single out. I mean, it's gonna be for everybody, right? For all the Jakes, but they're gonna start with certain areas that they want to wipe out, anyways. Probably, you know what I'm saying? That's just my assumption, but
yeah, they is.
I think like they're gonna start like say for like Chicago or some place like
Big
that.
places,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Certain neighborhoods, certain areas and stuff that they know would be a lot of crime and violence and stuff going on. They're gonna start in those areas and start what they call wiping out, cleaning out.
You gotta wipe out the head.
Yeah, you gotta, yeah, exactly. But that's all gonna be judgment from the Lord.
Yep.
But you know, that's how they gonna come.
They're gonna do a sweep through Chicago.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a sweep through New York right now. You got a whole drill music thing. A lot of people, a lot of gangs and shit is killing on.
Louisiana, the state of Louisiana.
Sweep, Florida, sweep, LA out there, Crips and Bloods. They're gonna do a sweep. Them man, these Edomites gonna come through and do a sweep, and that's gonna send a message to everybody in these little or smaller cities. Like, look what they just did. They just took out the whole Crip nation. Esau. He gonna come in, going to war, man. Look at what they doing to Ukraine right now. Russia's taking out the whole Ukraine. These niggas in LA ain't got nothing on Ukraine.
Yeah.
So imagine when they come that same force over here in America, in Mystery Babylon, and they shooting rockets. You shooting guns, they shooting rockets in buildings. They got tanks coming through. The bullets can't even penetrate through the tank, and they blowing up buildings and shit with tanks.
It's time to go bomb for bomb.
Yeah. We ain't got no bombs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're not going bullet for bullet. This is finna be a nuclear warfare.
Yep. So they taking out. It's gonna be a great insurrection on us. It says verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out their houses. So I'm gonna leave it right there, but it says they should waste and take away their goods. So just like with Khloe Kardashian, she was showing like her little bunker and she had a whole bunch of food in it. Man, Esau gonna come take that. They gonna say, look, the state need it. The government need it. We compensate all this. Remember you used to watch those movies like Bad Boys and Mike Lowry, he'd need a car and he'd stop somebody and say, hold up his badge, and he'd be able to take them out their car and use the car to keep chasing the bad guy. They can compensate those shit, man.
And by law, you're supposed to give up your vehicle. Like if a cop was in a pursuit of somebody and you just so happen to pull up next to him and his vehicle went out of commission and he show you his badge, you're supposed to get out of your vehicle and give him your vehicle.
Yep.
By law.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so when they come get the confiscating shit, I mean, they might not even find, they might not get all of it, you know? Because for the elect, you know what I'm saying, that might just be how the Lord feeds some of his people.
The elect gonna be taken care of.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we be part of the elect, but you never know. We don't know how the Lord gonna feed us, but he said he was. Yep. And it could very, very be through some of them bunkers.
Yep.
You know, like one of the brothers was saying. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like right here. This is Isaiah 13, verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened and is going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low in haughtiness of the terrible.
Well, so that verse right there, because it's like that proud, which America is very proud, that shit gonna cease, man. When you ain't got food, when you ain't got water, when the party's over with, you ain't getting rich no more, driving fancy cars and partying in mansions and Esau, you know, trading Bitcoin and becoming millionaires and shit. When that party over with, that proud spirit gonna get took from these Babylonians, mystery Babylonians, whatever, you know, just made that up, but, you know, kind of just flow it.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff, like, a lot of the stuff that caused the proudness attitude is what a lot of people have, like the materialistic stuff that people, you know, praise and bow down to and worship, you know what I mean? And a lot of that stuff, like, in these times, ain't none of that gonna matter.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that being people like vain, like, that type of stuff is what give people everyday energy that they need to even get up out of bed.
They status.
Yeah, they status. You know what I'm saying? That gives them something to live for.
Yeah.
And when that don't matter, now what?
What you gonna live for? So you're gonna have a lot of people commit suicides.
Exactly.
You're gonna have a lot of people that was like rich or whatever, and then they gonna be run down low and they ain't gonna be able to take it. And they either gonna bug out and it's gonna turn them to like a beast state of mind, kind of like Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah,
they gonna lose their mind and be bugged out out here. You're gonna be like, what happened? What's wrong with them? They just gonna be completely bugged out because they ain't gonna be able to handle the stress and the pressure of losing everything. And then you're gonna have some people that just gonna give it up, just gonna give up the ghost. Just say it's over, I can't take it. I can't live poor, I can't live. You know, I'm so used to DoorDash coming right to my door, me having a chef prepare my food, me living in a warm place where palm trees, I'm living in a mansion. I can have any woman I want, I can have any jewelry I want. I'm driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris. I got people chauffeuring me, I'm in the back of the Maybach. They drive me everywhere I go. People do everything for me. You got people that live like that. Hedge fund kids and rich and the government, and then when all that stripped from them and took from them, they ain't gonna know how to live and do things on their own. So they gonna give up the ghost. Yep.
Verse 12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Now remember what we were saying about the woman? That they gonna need protection from the man. That's what the Lord talking about right there.
Right.
The Isaiah talking about, you know, which is the Lord talking through Isaiah, giving Isaiah the spirit to bring out these things that it's gonna make a man more precious than fine gold. So women ain't gonna no longer be like, I don't need a man. They gonna be looking for a man. They'll rather pay a man gold just for him to take her to be his wife. So they could have that protection, man.
Verse 13, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the days of his fierce anger. Verse 14, and it shall be as the chaste rope, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land.
So everybody gonna turn to their own people. This whole melting pot, all people is one people bullshit that America be on, that's gonna be bullshit. People are gonna be fleeing to their own people, just like the Ukrainians right now. You got a lot of Ukrainians trying to go back to Ukraine, you know what I mean, and be with their people. You know, so everybody gonna be going back to their own people, man. You gonna have Asians going back to Asians, or Moabite going back to Moabites. You're gonna have Esau sticking with Esau, white militias. You're gonna have blacks sticking with blacks. It says that in Obadiah 1 that the house of pretty much Israel is gonna be a flame in the fire, in the house of Esau for stumble. It says that. We're gonna have people clicking up, man, trying to survive together, trying to fight together. You know? Keep going on that.
Verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
So if you join into these Edomites, when the Lord comes to judge them, you're going to be judged. You're going to fall by the sword too.
Their children shall also be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravaged.
Ooh, what was we talking? You can leave it right there, that Revelation level. What was we talking about? When we was talking about the kids being chopped up and ate?
Yeah.
That's literally what we just be talking about. Your kids being dashed to stone. But this is talking about the Edomites though, really. The Edomites, their kids gonna be dashed to stone. Their house is gonna be spoiled. We pulled out many precepts telling you that people are gonna be running into other people's houses with guns. Yeah. I mean, how many precepts do we gotta pull out to say that? You know what I mean? Just to break it down to today's term, people are going to be running to other people's houses with knives and guns and take their food. And like we said earlier, upon them getting in your house and take your food, if they see a young daughter, if they see your wife and they want to take her, they're going to take her too. Didn't it say their wives should be ravished?
Yeah.
What does it mean for a wife to be ravished? Be raped.
Yeah, because if they, if your house is the target of, you know, as the Bible speaks of being spoiled, right? Yeah. And a person come in, right? Yeah, of course, you know, naturally a man gonna try to fight for his family, but if it's overtook, yep. Like if they defeat you, then at that point that house is no longer your house. Yep. So whatever's in there that the person or people want, then they can have. And if that's your daughter, then they taking your daughter. Yep. You already been defeated. You can't even stop them from taking your food.
They might kill you. So
yeah.
You're done. You over with. You can't do nothing. It's over with.
Do nothing.
You back in the spiritual world. And like it said earlier in Isaiah, it says the Lord should make a man more precious than fine gold. And that's what these women have to understand. These women that, you got a lot of women that's like roommates with other women. How y'all gonna protect somebody from coming in there?
Exactly.
There's a house full of girls. A dude come in there, 2 dudes come in there, kick the door down the door where they taking anything they want. So a lot of women, it's gonna be a great thing to have a man at the home. So if somebody try to kick in, he could defend the household. Now he might get killed, and they might take it anyways, but he might successfully defend his household.
Right.
Just don't know. You know, so I mean, it did, going back to the law, in our law, when we go to war against another nation, what did we do? We killed their man. And then when we killed their man, when we seen the woman that we wanted, going back to Deuteronomy 21, we could take that woman to be a wife. So what do you think they gonna do? It's the same thing. They gonna come in and kill you. You got a daughter, you got a son, shit. You know how the Edomites get down. You got a daughter, a son, a wife, and they wanna take any one of them, they gonna take them. They gonna take them, man. And that's just, if that happens, then that's just what the Lord wanted to happen, man. But that's why you gotta start getting yourself prepared right now. You're gonna see some grievous things, man. You might be in a house dumped off, in the house next door, you might just hear a lot of women and children yelling, and you know what's happening in that house. Shit going down. Or you gonna risk your life to go out there and go next door and try to defend them? Or you just gonna stay course? Man, these are hard questions. These are very hard questions, man. Get that Revelation 11, start at verse 8, because I want to set up this precept to explain, to give you context.
Okay. Revelation 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Right, so it's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So when the Bible is talking about Egyptians or Egypt, you have to know the difference if it's talking about ancient Egypt where we was in slavery, or if it's talking about what the word Egypt means, which is like bondage or hard spot. You have to be able to discern which one throughout the Bible, because there's such thing called spiritual Egypt. Just like Babylon, Mystery Babylon is not ancient Babylon in Iraq. It's talking about America, but it's calling it Babylon. So the Lord didn't call this place everything. The Lord didn't call this place, I want to say Assyria, America. He didn't call it Mystery Babylon. He didn't call it Egypt. Spirit, because our bodies laying in the streets of a place called spiritual Sodom and Egypt. It's talking about America right there, but it's calling it Sodom or Egypt. Yeah. Right? Because this place is just as wicked as Egypt, just as wicked as Sodom. You know, just as wicked as ancient Babylon. So that's why the Lord is referring to these places. Sometimes he calls this place Basra. You know, just to break that down for this precept right here, going it off. This is Isaiah 19. I want to get straight to the point, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. What's that swift cloud that the Lord is riding upon? That's a chariot or something. It's a chariot, what the world call a UFO. You see somebody driving, you see somebody riding on a cloud today, you're gonna say it's a UFO. You ain't gonna be identified. You know what I mean? You're gonna say it's an unidentified flying object. Right? It says, it should come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt should be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt should melt in the midst of it. So this is spiritual Egypt, right? It says, I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, mankind versus mankind. And what did we say? Because Isaiah came way after Egypt. So Isaiah not going to be prophesying about something that happened years, hundreds of years before he even came on the scene. If you know when Isaiah came on the scene, this is way after Moses' time, with the Egyptians. So he's not talking about ancient Egypt and the Lord coming in on a cloud to ancient Egypt. He's talking about what he's prophesying of modern day Egypt, which we just read in Revelation 11, verse 8. He's talking about spiritual Sodom and Egypt, which is America. Body's gonna be laying in the street. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. That's the purge. That's mankind versus mankind. Everyone against his neighbor. How many times do we tell you that your neighbor's gonna try to break in your house with a gun to take your goods, man? How many precepts do we got to bring out? It's that city against city, like we said, and kingdom against kingdom, nation, country versus country. It says, in the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, just like in Isaiah 13. That proud gonna be laid low, man. It says, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits, which is witchcraft and wizards. You know, people telling you, look, I could do this, I could do that, I got magic, I could do all that bullshit, right? I can help you, I can heal America, you know, and it says, in the Egyptian will I give over into the hand of the cruel Lord, the true Lord. They call him cruel Lord. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. And the host is like, the Lord is the Lord of hosts, of armies, of the nuclear. The Lord's spirit gonna be in the nuclear missiles when he come to destroy. That's a host, the nuclear missiles. You see what I'm saying? So it's just breaking down even more that we giving you warning. It's gonna be mankind versus mankind on every level. I mean, that's just the perfect way to put it, mankind versus mankind. Because you got every level, there's gonna be war. Cities, nations, people, government, woman versus man. On every level is gonna be war. It's all chaos. Kind of like the movie Mortal Kombat. It's just gonna be time to go. Everybody's gonna be fighting. The Lord gonna say go, and it's just gonna be free for all. Like Call of Duty or some shit like that. So you gotta start preparing yourself mentally, man. Because without the mind, without the spirit, you can't do anything physical. You know. So we gonna end it off there. We're gonna say salvation to the elect. We're gonna give our praises to
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakadash.
I'm gonna understand the apostles and the others.
Shalom.